So I'm Johnathon Rondeau. I'm the CEO here at the Arc Central Chesapeake region.
I'm Catie, Director of Development and Communications at the Arc Central Chesapeake region.
The Arc Central Chesapeake region serves Anne Arundel County and Maryland's Eastern Shore. We are part of 700 ARCs across the country, all created to create opportunities for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Our focus is helping people live, work, and play in their communities in the manner that they hope to do that. And so we're supporting people anywhere from 24 hours a day with personal care, helping them connected to the community, to people who work independently and just need a little extra support now and then to keep their job. The Arc Central Chesapeake region serves Anne Arundel County and all the counties on the Eastern Shore other than Cecil. Our partner organization, the Arc Northern Chesapeake region, serves Hartford and Cecil counties. The Arc provides a wide variety of services helping children and adults live and work in their communities. So we have a program called Living Options and Services where we're helping people live in their communities, many of which on their own in apartments that they rent, and they just get drop-in supports to support them with sort of budgeting, medical appointments, grocery shopping, that sort of thing. We also provide traditional group home services where we're staffing people 24 hours a day to help them live in their community. Then we also provide day services, helping people get engaged in meaningful activities throughout the day, Monday through Friday. And then workforce services, helping people get jobs and maintain jobs, just like you or I. And then we do provide some information referral as well as parent support groups for school-age kids and that sort of thing. Last fiscal year, we served about 1,700 people through those different services across the counties. We have about 350 staff who provide those supports. The way someone gets into services is you have to be qualified for services through the Developmental Disabilities Administration. Then our admissions manager will meet with the person interested in services and their family to find out what they're looking for and sort of do an exploration about what their hopes and dreams are. We'll talk a little bit about the ARC. If there's a good match, then we'll connect them with programs and do an intake process that way. And that's how people will sort of get connected. A lot of times people come in through one service, and over time we'll get other services from that from us. But it all depends. Everything we do is individualized, and so we don't have a carbon copy way of that we do programs and services. And so our group homes range from 1 person to 4 people. How we provide supports to people in the community is based on that person and the way that they want to be supported. And I sort of look at it about as in within the people in your own family, you all live a little differently. And it's not one size fits all, and that's really what we're all about, helping people live and work and access the community the way that they envision for themselves. So a lot of times, especially for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities, there's assumptions made based on sort of historical stereotypes about what jobs they can have, how independent that they can be. And I think just like anyone, we all become independent at different times. We all have different dreams and aspirations, and as professionals, it's our job to help people reach those and provide the wraparound supports they need, opposed to just sort of saying, if you have this diagnosis or this is your disability, this is how we need to provide services. And I think more and more across the country, agencies are starting to take that approach. I think, unfortunately, that's not the most common way of services being provided. And my hope is that not only for the people we support, that they feel that individualized approach, but that we're trying to sort of spread that message around sort of customization around services to other providers. I think it's harder from an administrative perspective because there isn't a one way of there's not a standard staffing pattern, or there's not a standard way that you document a certain thing. But I would argue that the people we support are seeing better outcomes because they're not arbitrarily put in a box. mix around that. And we are starting to see, since we are entering year 3 of this, really doubling down on this approach, and we're seeing behaviors go down. We're seeing our employment numbers, meaning the number of people that are employed or wanting a job and maintaining a job, going up. We're seeing people becoming more independent in their home when they're living, and so meaning less staff support around that. And so that to me shows that when you actually are reaching the person how they want, it's the right way. The majority of our funding is funded through the state of Maryland, through the Developmental Disabilities Administration, through a Medicaid program, so it's a state-federal match. One of the challenges with that, as you know, anytime you're dealing with government funding or Medicaid, they're not fully funding all the services that you want. Or that we provide. And so when we talk about an individualized approach, that oftentimes does cost more. A lot of times in staff training for our direct support professionals, and sometimes the process on how we do intakes is a lot more involved than if we were just sort of processing paper. And so for every 90 to 95 cents that the state funds, we need the other 5 to 10 cents to fund that innovation. And so that's what our fundraising is really focused on, is how do we fund the innovation, the extra things that we want to do to support people with disabilities.
Really excited this year to be unveiling Tap the Shore, which is a food and craft beverage tour of the Eastern Shore. And so people will start out at the Tidewater in Easton, and then they head out on one of 2 routes. They hit 3 stops along each route, and then they head back to Easton for a 5-course wine pairing dinner that uses ingredients from each stop that they visited during the day. We're really lucky to be working with, on the Chestertown land route, we have Family Affair Farm, we have Bull and Goat Brewery, and Crow Vineyards. And then on the C route, or the St. Michael's route, we have Lion Distilling, Olive-In's Fine Olive Oil and Vinegars, and Phillips Wharf. And then the dinner will be catered by Chesapeake chefs, Kurt Peter, who's an executive chef from the Queenstown area. So it's 5 courses, and then he will be taking ingredients from each of those stops, each of those 6 locations. So there's blueberries from Family Affair Farm. There's like a rum sauce that's going on a white chocolate blueberry cake for dessert from Lions. There's beef from Crow Vineyards, as well as their wine. There will be balsamic vinegar from Olive-In's, and oysters. We're gonna have a raw bar at the cocktail hour, manned by Phillips Wharf. So it's a wide array of local delicacies. June 27th, it's an all-day event. So people can get tickets online, www.thearcccr.org/taptheshore. And tickets are $250 each, and they include breakfast, transportation, everything that you get as a VIP experience on the tours, and then the 5-course wine pairing dinner and cocktail hour. We have about 25 tickets left. We fundraise through a lot of events. The golf tournament we host every year. This is our 23rd year, and it's going to be on May 4th, and we have that at the golf club at South River in Edgewater every year, and it sells out annually. We have our Celebration Impact, which is not a fundraising event, but it illustrates all of the work that we do and that the community does on our behalf throughout the year. And so it's really great to be able to talk about the success and inclusion for people with disabilities. We have our Clay Shoot, which is another fundraiser that we have in Queenstown at the Point at Pintail, and that's September 18th. And that's also a lot of fun.
The best way to get engaged with us is through our website, through www.thearcccr.org, or social media, whether that's on Facebook or Twitter. that's the first way to sort of to get engaged, and that we're constantly refreshing different events and information the way that people are. We do have a regional office in Easton as well as one in Annapolis, and our headquarters here in Severn, Maryland. People can always stop by any of those locations and sort of connect with people if they have questions or are interested in services.